Welcome to the InSpirit meeting, say the final episode for now, and we have a lot to take a look at today. We're going to start with meditation, and this meditation is prepared by Barbara. And when the time is right, you can start reciting. Here.
So yesterday we were talking about the friend. And I thought, well, we need a guest too. So coming of the guest. So yesterday I was standing in front of the gate and I said, well, wait, I have to bring a package to the post office first. It seems like a tiny thing, but there's always an excuse, even a post package. So I guess we need all the help we need. So the coming of the guest. Why would you not perceive it as a release from suffering, to learn that you are free? Why would you not acclaim the truth instead of looking on it as an enemy? Why does an easy path, so clearly marked, it is impossible to lose the way, seem thorny, rough, and far too difficult for you to follow? Is it not because you see it as the road to hell, instead of looking on it as the simple way, without a sacrifice or any loss, to find yourself in heaven and in God? Until you realize you give up nothing, until you understand there is no loss, you will have some regrets about the way that you have chosen. And you will not see the many gains your choice has offered you. Yet though you do not see them, they are there. Their cause has been affected, and they must be present where their cause has entered in. So for the next sheet, I had prepared like an I, the one I from the I am, prepared for the silence to focus on the I, because what I love about, well, Jesus calling it the guest, well, for my understanding right now, is that what he means by that is that the Holy Spirit, he calls it a guest because if the guest enters, then it will not a guest anymore, but it will be us, Holy and Spirit. So for the moment of silence, I thought to contemplate on I.
Thank you so much for sharing that with us. Thank you so much, Barbara. So we continue. Now the idea for today is an idea of absence, and absence is a great subject. I really didn't know it was so wonderful to explore, and how useful it is, in fact, and because we're dealing with invisibility a lot. Absence of the body, the world doesn't see it or hear it, or it is not visible. It's not like you cannot register it with your five senses. So there's a lot of absence in that sense, a lot of invisibility, different ways of experiencing, different levels of consciousness. All this has to do with absence or presence. And absence, yeah, you can say like presence by absence, something that you miss, for instance, in the human experience too. You miss someone. Well, this someone is very much present. You see this artist passing on, and the whole day the music is being played. Totally lovely. Like he is more alive than ever on his day of passing. So it's like somebody seems to be absent, but is actually very present, very much alive. There are artists who know of that too in very beautiful ways. And I don't know if you want to introduce that a little bit, Parissa. You're welcome to do so. Yeah. Give us some introduction to it.
Yeah, sure.
This one. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, it was well for me looking for an artist for this class was a phenomenally good experience because I learned about artists that I would never look at before. And as I was searching and looking, I came across this composer, American composer, John Cage. And well, first of all, his work is to me is very thinking out of the box for someone who's composing music. And with music, we all expect something that's beautiful and what he is doing is very different from the expectation of an ordinary audience like myself. And then I came across this work of him, which is really, really, I think it's a genius. It's very interesting, and I think it's better for me to not say anything about it, and maybe you just can play it.
So there's more. You want to show the interview too?
Up to you. I think, yeah, sure. I think his words were interesting, just to know how he was looking at sound and music.
When I hear what we call music, it seems to me that someone is talking, and talking about his feelings or about his ideas of relationships. But when I hear traffic, the sound of traffic here on 6th Avenue, for instance, I don't have the feeling that anyone is talking. I have the feeling that sound is acting. And I love the activity of sound. What it does is it gets louder and quieter, and it gets higher and lower, and it gets longer and shorter. It does all those things which I'm completely satisfied with that. I don't need sound to talk to me. And I'm not so stupid either. There was a German philosopher who's very well known, Immanuel Kant, and he said there are two things that don't have to mean anything. One is music, and the other is laughter. Don't have to mean anything, that is, in order to give us very deep pleasure. You know that, don't you? The sound experience, which I prefer to all others, is the experience of silence. And the silence almost everywhere in the world now is traffic. If you listen to Beethoven or to Mozart, you see that they're always the same. But if you listen to traffic, you see it's always different.
And his works, they are interesting, but at the first look, I thought that, well, they're not really very different. For example, he has appearing room with the water fountains just appearing 1 second and then disappearing, or other waterworks. And I thought that, well, you can go to Vegas and you can find more astonishing ones. But then looking closer, I found that there is something in them, at least with my current consciousness. I found some enlightening elements in them. For example, that mirror work that I sent you, I interpreted it as this world being all an image that we are seeing, and it's none of it is really real.
Yeah.
And
it's made by the maze. It's coming the form from one of the flowers, one of the pictic flowers of the property. One of them is here. You go in, and then the gravity of the grounding is different. So the surface on the height on the mirror maze is the same. You can see it's very, very clear. And if you go into this maze, you go up a little bit and you're standing and you can look from above and you see the whole maze where you get in and out. Going further, there's a well, which is like filled with water, which is right behind us. And there I somehow created a pattern on the top that you can actually find around where you are, but it also could be like kind of bench where you can contemplate and sit and use time for yourself.
We have not lost the knowledge that God gave to us when He created us like Him. We can remember it for everyone, for in creation are all minds as one, and in our memory is the recall how dear our brothers are to us in truth, how much a part of us is every mind, how faithful they have really been to us, and how our Father's love contains us all.
The total comfort is in that is happening in you, that is given you, that is, you can look for it and you'll find it. It's inevitable, you're going to find it. Or you can find it right here, right now. It is as if suddenly you discover there's no ceiling above you. If you're in your house or in your room or in your space, there doesn't seem to be a ceiling at all. But there's something else to discover. And that's totally invisible to the world. Like a star, the thought God holds of you is like a star, unchangeable in an eternal sky, so high in heaven is it set that those outside of heaven know it is there. The thought God holds of your, the thought God holds of you is like a star, unchangeable in an eternal sky. So high in heaven is it set that those outside of heaven know not it is there. No instant when its light grew dimmer or less perfect ever was. Who knows the Father knows this light. He is the eternal sky which holdeth safe forever, lifted up and anchored, sure. It's but still and white and lovely. It will shine through all eternity. There was no time it was not there. Perfect purity does not depend on whether it is seen on earth or not. The sky embraces it and softly holds it in its perfect place, which is as far from earth as earth from heaven. It is not the distance, nor the time which keeps this star invisible to earth, but those who seek for idols cannot know this star is there.
The absence of me. If I stepped out, quiet as breath dissolving into sky, would the trees still sway their hips in the breeze, or would they pause, as if sensing the hush of a soul gone inward? Would the coffee still steam in the mug, I left half drunk? Or would it cool quicker without my warmth in the room? Would the walls echo differently? Less of story, more of stillness? In my absence, you might notice the light bending softer at dusk, as if it too misses the way I used to notice it. But truly, there is no absence. That's the trick of it. That's the veil. Because I was never this body sipping coffee. I was never the story, never the name. I was awareness draped in form, the Christ light behind the curtain of personality. Master Teacher said, you can't lose what was never separate. The light doesn't leave. You just stop mistaking the lamp for the source. So when I go missing, what's left is what's always been. The presence, the invisible eye that requires no voice, no form. Joel taught there is no life apart from God, no private mind, no personal self, no Alex or tree or river, only the infinite individuality expressing itself in 1,000 varieties. So maybe in the absence of me, there's more of me than ever. Not the me that worries or wonders, but the one that is, the one that always was. And maybe you'll feel it too, in the breath between words, in the space between notes, in the still quiet knowing that the absence was never absent at all, just God undoing illusion.
You probably don't want to play the music because it's kind of like sawing logs or something.
Oh, you make me really curious. What happened?
Well, okay, there were certain absences. Okay. First of all, the telephone poles, well, my neighbor had all these telephone poles delivered to him so he could use them somehow on his land, you know. Well, these were trees once that had leaves, so now they're the absence of leaves, poles that were trees, and they were chopped down, and then they were stuck back in the ground like the trees originally were. And then now these were chopped down, and all the wires and all the cords and everything that went to bring electricity to homes and businesses and stoplights and everything were all gone from them now. So everything was absent from what it started from.
So we try to experiment the absence of.
Okay.
So
It's an idea when we are in a circle, your circle spiritual family. Il n'y a pas de manque.
There is no absence omnipresence
in
and
omnipresence.
consciousness. So we try to use the screen where we are together, and we play with the
Tiles.
like a pixel, like pixel, and to show absence and presence, and we play with music.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
I have to go now. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much for your presence. It's really lovely, and Alex, for taking time to show what you discovered. That's really great.
Le miracle est toujours là. Sa présence n'est pas causée par ta vision. Son absence n'est pas le résultat de ce que tu manques de le voir. Le miracle est toujours là.
Great. So my video has everything to do with presence. And see, that's the same thing as absence in a certain sense. It depends on where you look for it or how you look at it. But presence is presence. So that's the absence of everything else. Everything that isn't, isn't, and cannot be present. So I was still with an idea of star. Tell me what is going on.
Well, I gave everything away, I guess, in the first slide of my video. So we had this spirit tree that was with us since it was Vihai. And it has grown into a big tree now. I wouldn't say mature, but it is a big teenager now. And it's been our dream that a birdie comes and builds a nest in it, but it has never happened. So I thought that, well, we are all one. So what difference does it make if a bird comes and builds the nest or I build it? So I collected some yard waste and built a nest. And here's the video.
And it was a little bit different than she expected, but I'm not going to say anything.